start it?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, as we have discussed that in order to design a system, first of all, we have to derive the specifications from our requirements. And after deriving the specification, naturally, in order to derive the specification, we have to apply some practical approaches. And when we apply the practical approaches, then that requirement, that is the ideal one, is converted into the some practical aspects. And then we use here the designing concepts, means how we will design a system. And in the first step, as Professor Agarasar said, that we have to collect some data, or we have to collect some information in order to develop a mathematical model. And when the mathematical model is developed, that mathematical model will be either the related to the dynamic system, or that will be related to the static system, depending upon the situation and requirement of the system. If the system is naturally memory type system, means system has the memory, then that system will be represented by the differential and difference equation. But if the system has no memory, that system may be the linear or non-linear. And so far we have discussed the concept of the linear and the non-linear systems. We have also discussed the commands and some types of the toolboxes, some glimpses of the toolboxes, as well as the model related to the linear and non-linear systems. Now we are trying to, and we have also covered the concept of the differential equations in the previous lecture, that is the yesterday. And today we are going to cover the concept of the differential analysis of the differential and difference equation in time domain as well as frequency domain. As we know, in order to design any system, first of all, we have to analyze the mathematical model of the system. And if we are interested to analyze the system, then it is mandatory that the system must be analyzed in time domain as well as in frequency domain. So it means there is a need of the transformation that converts the information from one domain to another domain. That's why we use the Laplace transformation and the Z transformation and so many types of the other transformation. And at the same time, if we are transforming the information from one domain to another domain, and both are inversely proportional to each other, then if the system's equations are very complex in time domain, then it will be very easy in the frequency domain. It is the bonus. The objective is to analyze the system in time domain as well as frequency domain. But when we transform the information from one domain to another domain, basically what happens when we are trying to develop the mathematical model of the real life system, then it becomes very, very complex in time domain. And when we apply here the transformation, at that time, it becomes very simple for the purpose of the analysis. One thing. And another is simplicity is the one benefit. And the second one is we are interested to analyze the behavior of the system in the time domain as well as frequency domain. So in this lecture, we are just going to cover the concept of the differential and difference equation when they will be transformed into the frequency domain. What happens when we use the differential equation? Then for the purpose of the transformation, we use the Laplace transformation. And that function, which was function of the t, having the differential operator in the time domain, now it becomes the function of the s. S is the complex frequency. Similarly, when we develop the mathematical model of the digital system, as we have discussed yesterday, the digital system has the basic component that stores the energy is the flip-flop. It stores one bit information. So this may be represented as if there is system having the memory of the one bit, means it has a capacity to store the one bit information. Then whatever is the input, suppose this is the xn, the output will be delayed by 1 unit, that is the xn minus 1, or we can say this flip-flop may be considered as 1 bit delay. Okay, so if we apply here the Laplace transformation, then it becomes the function of the s. Similarly, if we apply the z transformation for the difference equation, then it becomes the function of the z. In Laplace transformation, when s, as we know, s is the complex frequency, and it is represented by as sigma plus j omega. But for the purpose of the oscillations, only we consider the j omega here, and damping is responsible for the sigma. And similarly, in the Z, we use the e to power j omega, that is the r e to power j omega. R is the real portion, and we utilize only r e to power j omega. Then these functions are transformed into the frequency domain, and these are known as the Fourier transformation. There is a function which we always used to use in order to describe any system or in order to describe the characteristics of the system, that is named as the transfer function. And what is the transfer function? It is the ratio of the transformed output to the transformed input with all initial conditions considered to be 0. That's why during the time of the designing, we always used to say, design a relaxed system, that is without any initial condition. So now we are trying to describe these concepts, means how the Fs will be described and in the differential equation term, and how the Fz will be described in the difference equation. Now say if we use the LTI, linear time invariant system, as we have discussed, if there is a differential equation and all the coefficients are independent from the time, that is they are not changing their values with respect to time, it means all the components are fixed and their values are not changing with respect to time, then that will be the linear time invariant system. And that here, if we apply here the Laplace transformation, then yt will become the ys, and suppose there is this type of function, this will become the y2s is equal to y1s, like that. We all are aware with this concept. If there is integration, that will be multiplied by the s, and s is replaced by j omega, that's why omega multiplied by this one. And similarly, we can use the concept of the Laplace transformation in order to describe the f of the s. It means we are just transforming the information from one domain to another complex domain, that is named as the image domain here. Now, suppose we are interested in order to get the Laplace transformation, we know the definition of the Laplace transformation, that the Laplace transformation of the xt is derived by this mathematical equation here. The integration 0 to infinity xt e power minus xt, and it is causal signal xt, that is it exists only for the t positive values, time when time is positive values. And similarly, if we are interested in order to get the inverse Laplace transform, then we will apply this formula here. And these are the some examples of the when we apply the operator Laplace transformation as the operator to the here the del t impulse function, it becomes 1 ut 1 by s. These are the some examples here, ut e to power minus at 1 upon s plus a, like that here. Sinusoidal function, cosine function, e to power at sine function, cosine function. These are the here some examples of the Laplace transformation. Now just coming to the point here, that suppose there is a continuous system and xt is the input, yt is the output, then this system will be mathematically modeled, and we have assumed that this system is the dynamic system, that is the differentiation of the outputs, summation of the differentiation multiplication with their coefficients, as we have discussed in the first lecture, and we have considered this PPT as the reference in each and every discussion, that when we are interested in order to develop a mathematical model, then we will get this type of the equation here. If we are interested only for the yt, then what will be the value of the yt? At that time, here say m is 0, this will become the a0, and the differentiation will become the 0. So a0 yt will become this value minus of this term, but the m starts from 1 to this one here. So this will be a mathematical model of the dynamic system, that is also known as the ARMA model, auto-regressive moving average model. Because in this one, what is happening? Whatever is the output yt, this will depend upon this processing of the system on the xt as well as the previous output also, because there will be a term yt will be represented as 1 by a naught, and suppose a naught is 1, At that time, this will become the yt is equal to this term minus of the same term, but here the limit m will start from 1 to m. So it will depend upon the operation of the input as well as the previous output also. Auto regression takes place, and this one is responsible for the here the average, and this average is nothing but whatever is the value that is multiplied by the moving constant. So this will become the moving average, and the second one will be the auto regression. So the total model will be known as the ARMA model, auto regressive moving average model. And if the AKs and BKs are constant, they are not changing their values, only then this system will be set to the LTI. And if they are changing their values, then at that time this system will become the adaptive. And if AKs here AKs and BKs are constant, then that will be the deterministic model, and in the second case that will become the stochastic model here. Now suppose we are interested in order to analyze the system in time domain as well as in frequency domain, then we apply here the Laplace transform, and now the input will be converted into the XS, it will be converted into the YS, and naturally whatever is the transfer function that will be converted in this form. XS will become the YS divided by XS, as we have discussed that transfer function is nothing but it is the ratio of the transformed output. If it is Laplace transform, naturally it is a Laplace transform of the output, Laplace transform of the input, and if we are interested for the Z transform, then it will become the ratio of the Z transform of the output to the Z transform of the input. But in both the cases, we have to consider that the initial conditions are 0. Only then this will be set to the transfer function here. Now, if we are interested in order to describe the HS YS upon XS, that is apply here the Laplace transform of this one to this one. So YS upon XS, this will become here the summation series of this one. That is the here this will become in the denominator, because the YS upon XS, this coefficient, these coefficients will be in the denominator here, and this will be in the numerator here. We will get this type of the transfer function here. Now this HS means function of the S. It has the power of the S, very high power. Now if we are interested to design such type of the system, then what will happen? This system is not suitable for the purpose of the designing if the order is greater than 2, because it will be sensitive to any changes in the environment or in the parameter. That's why in order to avoid these effects, these transfer functions are broken into the first order sections and the second order section. Basically the bipod are considered, that is the second order sections are considered, and if the system is odd, have the power of the odd, naturally the first section will become the first order section, and hence this total system will be described by the cascading of the first order section and then successive second order sections here. Now the steps will be used in order to analysis in the network. Suppose this is a transfer function here, and we are interested to analyze this one here. Then for that purpose, what we have to do? First, the network, we draw the block diagram, and the first step is label nodes by integer numbers here. These are the nodes here. Say all the nodes will be indicated here. And in the second step, assume that signal at some node is YT, and here we will consider this is the YT. And the third step is here. This third, see this, these are the steps given here, and see here the graphics. But we are just trying to present whatever we are saying here. Now write equation characteristics each block. Now each block will be represented by the characteristics equation here. Here we will analyze xt, and then we will write the characteristics equation for each block. Y1t is equal to, this is the xt here. For this one, y1t is same as the x1t. Then y2t will be described by y1 plus y5. This is the y5 here. This one is the y5 plus y6. This is the y6 here. So here, if we are interested to get the y2, then we will get here the summation of the y1 plus y5 plus y6, and say in the similar fashion we will describe here other outputs here, and finally we will describe this one as the y6. Now the next step is apply the Laplace transform, and here the Laplace transform will be applied to each and every equations, and then here solve the set of algebraic equations. and we will try to get the solution of these algebraic equations here. Then find the transfer function by dividing ys upon the xs. For here we will get the h2s, h3s, h4s by this one here, and this is the final response, that is the yt, ys will be represented, and then inverse of the ys, that is the h3s multiplied by xs will be the ys, and its inverse Laplace transform, this will give the yt. So this is the concept, this is the principle which we generally use to adapt, which we adapt in order to solve our mathematical model when the mathematical model is in the differential equation form. Similarly, if we are interested to get a mathematical model, and we are interested to get the analysis of a discrete time system, then naturally the mathematical model of the digital system will be done using the difference equation, and difference equation can be transformed into the complex domain and hence frequency domain using the jet transform. As all the information and definitions are same here, but here for the purpose of the xz we use this formula here, that is the whatever is the xn, it's z to power minus n is equal to 0 to infinity. This is the jet transform. Similarly, we can get here the formula for the inverse jet transform, that is the 1 by 2 pi j. Here the closed contour integration of the xz z to power n minus 1 dz here. Now these are the some in the analogy of the continuous signals and the transformation we have just described here, the some jet transformation of the some signals or the sequences here, as we have described in the Laplace transform also. Now come to this point here. Suppose we are interested in order to develop the mathematical model of any digital system, that is the discrete time system. Naturally, the input will of that system will be the xn, and the output will be the yn. And as we have described in the previous PPT, similarly here we will also get the transfer function, the relation between the yn and xn here. And similarly, we can get here the yn, and this will be also there will be a term of the positive one, and the second one will be the negative, and this will be also known as the ARMA model here. In order to get the transfer function, we will apply here the jet transform, and after applying the jet transformation, we have to get the yz upon the xz. So yz is multiplied by these terms here. Applying the jet transformation means whatever is the constant value will remain same, and z to power n minus 1, that is this will become the z to power minus m, and here this become the z to power minus l, yz upon the xz, and this will be the function here. Again, it has the power of the z to power minus l and m. Similarly, as we have discussed for the case of the fs, it will be also broken into the first order section and the second order section, having the same concept. Now suppose we are interested in order to describe any discrete time LTI system. Again, I am repeating that LTI system means there will be the coefficients which are not changing their values with respect to time. Now say this is the block diagram. As we know, if we see the previous slides here, then we will find these type of the equations can be represented with the help of this summation series. Means this is responsible for the adder. Here the coefficient is multiplied by the signal. These multipliers are required, and x n minus l, that is the delay are required. So here if we come to this point, then we will find that with the help of the block diagram, and we have also discussed that the block diagram has a beauty that it describes the architecture of our algorithm here. Now we will get here a block diagram representation, and if we are interested in order to analyze our system here, then same procedure will follow. Label nodes by integer numbers here, as in the case of the f of the s, that was the transfer function of the system in time domain, having the nature of the dynamic. And the second one is assume that signal at some node is yn, here same, and x, assume that the input is known sequence xn. Write equations characterizing each block as we have done in the case of the continuous system. Then apply the jet transformation. Here in the previous case we have applied the Laplace transformation, here we will apply the jet transformation. Then solve the set of the algebraic equations, and find the transfer function by dividing yz by the xz, and hence we can get the value of the S3z, and now we can get here the y3n, that is the yn, by applying the inverse z transform to this function here. That is the S3z is nothing but it is the y3z upon the x3z. So y3z will become the S3z multiplied by xz, and then inverse z transform of this one. This will be the y3n. These are the mathematical concepts which we use in order to solve our network, our system, or our algorithm which we have designed when the system is the dynamic in nature. Now, just coming to provide the ease of the calculation here, system transfer function is represented with the help of the poles and the zeros. Frequency response in the S plane, frequency response in the Z plane. How these responses and the pole zero locations and positions will be described using the MATLAB, because using the mathematical concept for very complex function becomes very tedious job. That's why we will use here the MATLAB, and these functions will help us in order to get the result here. First, we consider here the continuous LTI system. Suppose this is the LTI system. Naturally, the transfer function will be represented by the ys upon the xs, and hs will be represented by the numerator matrix divided by the denominator here. Numerator is, again, we have described this one, that is, this will be in the form of the s to power l in the case of the continuous, and it will become z to power power in the case of the discrete time. Same is true for the as also, that is the denominator here. When s is replaced by j omega, it becomes a frequency domain representation, and now it is complex and having the two values, that is the absolute value and the angle. Absolute value is known as the amplitude variation with respect to frequency, and it is, we used to call it the frequency response of the system. And if the phase is changing, that is the angle is changing with respect to frequency, then we call it the phase response of the system. And in total, that is including the amplitude response and the phase response, it is named as the frequency response of the system. Now, if we are interested in order to analyze the pole zero representation, then whatever is the transfer function, that will be broken into the second order section, that is the here the bipart section. And here we have represented this one is summation of the s z to power zk, and this represents the location of the zeros, and this represents the location of the poles. When we put s is equal to this one, as we know, the value will become the infinite. When we put the s is equal to this value, this value will become the zeros, and it is named this szk will be named as the zero, and this will be named as the pole. For the first order section, the hs will be represented in this one, that is the sum constant multiplied by s. In the numerator, maximum power must be 1, as well as in the denominator, this must be 1. But the condition is a1 should not be equal to 0. For the second order or the bipart section, b2s square plus b1s plus b naught divided by a2s square plus a1s plus a naught. In general, in the second order system, we used to consider one very common example, that is known as the s square plus 2 ta omega n s plus omega n square in the characteristic equation of a transfer function, and same is represented here in the general form. Now, suppose we are interested in order to represent this hs, then we have to define the matrices here. Which matrix? Numerator matrix and the denominator matrix. So a is described by the numerator values here, and a is denominator values, and that is the 1, 0.4, 1, and b is the numerator value here, that is the 0.2, 0.3, and so on. Range of the frequency, then we will use a command. This is the important here. So this will control all the things here. Means we are just using a new command, frequency, and all others are well known here. We are aware with all things here, all commands here, excluding this one here, the frequency, yes. And now we will get here the HS. This will describe the HS, because then we have described the numerator, denominator, and omega. Now it will describe the H of the S, that is the H of the J omega. And if we say H J omega, it means now it has the two sections. One is the absolute value, and the second one is the angle or the phase. That's why we have used here one command for the absolute, the second one for the angle. And the subplot 2 1 1 means now the 2 rows, 1 column. So there will be the 2 rows, row number 1 and row number 2, and having the same column. 2 1 1, that is the second row, first column, first element, that is this one. It will represent the magnitude here. So this is on the y-axis. Will here it has been written magnitude, and title is H frequency S B A omega. So this is the title here, frequency B A omega, and all these concepts have been covered in the first lecture during the time of the plot command, and then its editing of the command here. And for the second one, 2 1 2, that is the second one. This one, and this will represent the phase, here the phase, and on the x level we will write here the omega, and y level we will write the phase here. Now suppose we are interested in order to get the root, that root means pole 0. In the numerator we will get the root zeros. If we are calculating the roots of the numerator, naturally that will become the zeros, and if we are calculating the roots of the denominator, that will become the poles. We know all the commands that first of all we have to describe the matrix. Suppose we have described the matrix A, then roots of this one, just put here the roots of A, and this will become the polynomial. Same is true for the P. And for the purpose of the plot, we will consider the real and imaginary portion, and we will plot it, and the axis limit, that is the minimum to maximum, is described. We can put any title on the x-axis, y-axis, and we can describe here the legend. Legend is nothing but it has the two. One is the zeros, and the second one is the poles here. Quality factor, we know this is the quality factor of any transfer function. Means first, the transfer function will be written in such a manner that we can describe the poles and zeros, and then we can get here the quality factor by equating this equation, that is the s square plus 2 tau omega ns plus omega n square here. Now the same is represented here in this matrix form. And these are the low pass transfer function. If we see the transfer function, we are getting this transfer function from where? If we have designed any system and its nature and low pass filter or the low pass transfer function, means that one must be the must have a range of the frequency that will be passed here. And if the frequency range of the frequencies are given, ripples are given, attenuations are given, then on those basis we will derive some mathematical equation. Naturally that mathematical equation will be the differential equation. And if we apply here the Laplace transformation, then we will get this type of the transfer function, and we can analytically draw the graph having this type. Here we are not using the MATLAB. This is the analytical description. By using the mathematics, how we can draw the graph here. Q is very high. Naturally, the peak will be very high here. This frequency range will be lower. That is related to the gain bandwidth product here. That will be remain constant. Same is true for the high pass filter or the band pass filter. These are the characteristics of the high pass, band pass filters, and this is the band reject filter. Means any particular range of the frequency will be rejected here. And all pass filter for a particular frequency means here that value will become the 1. Mod of this one will remain 1 here. And amplitude equalizer, here the graph of the amplitude equalizer will be represented in this manner here. And now the some concept of the pole zero pairing is used during the time of the designing. The systems are broken into the first order and the second order rational function, and then we apply here the pole zero pairing for the designing here. And for that purpose, we will get here the maximal dynamic range after applying the pole zero criteria, maximal signal to noise ratio, and minimal sensitivity, and these are the requirement of a system which has to be designed or which have to be designed. Again, coming to the transfer function here, if the transfer function is represented by this equation here, that is the related to the discrete time system, then this will be represented by the Bz by Az. Same concept, nothing special. So just I am trying to skip it by covering some concept here. Hz will be again described in this form in order to get the zeros and the poles here. And the first order section and the second order section will be described again. But these are function of the Z. Previously, those were the function of the S. And here, if we are interested in order to get the frequency response, frequency, if we use the command frequency, that is the frequency response of the system in the S plane. And if we write the frequency, then we will get the frequency response of the system in the Z plane. Very simple. If we are interested to get the frequency response in the S plane, then we have to use which command? Frequency. And for getting the frequency response in the Z plane, we have to write the command, or we have to utilize the command FIC-Z. And before that, we have to describe the numerator and denominator polynomials. As we know how these polynomials will be described, they will be described with the help of the coefficient of the matrix. So Bz upon Az. So frequency Bz upon Az. And there will be the two portions. One is the magnitude response, and the second one is the phase response. We will get here the magnitude as well as the phase response here. If we are interested in order to get the pole zero plot in the Z plane, that is related to the discrete time system or the digital system, again same, nothing is special. We have to follow the same procedure. Just remember what we have to do. We have to not memorize the so many commands and so many concepts. We have to just remember what we are trying to do. As we are trying to draw the Z pole zero plot in the Z plane, so we will write here the Z plane B comma A. That is B comma A means here the plot X comma Y, like that. Means here we will describe the B matrix and the A matrix and listen zeros and poles as we have described in the previous case. Again, if we are interested to transfer the transfer function into the ZPK. ZPK, Z means zeros, P means pole, and K means constant. When we used to write any transfer function, then it must be written in such a form. What is the DC gain? What are the location and position of the zeros? And what are the location and position of the poles? So that we can analyze and we can design our concept. So here, in order to convert the transfer function into the ZPK domain, we have to use only very simple command, describe the B and A, then write here the ZPK is Z zeros. We will get the three vectors. Z are the three matrices, Z, P and K. How we will derive this one? This is the operator, or this is the process that will operate on these inputs B and A, and B and A are given here. Now see the output. These are the output. There will be three output: Z, P and K. K is the DC gain. This one here. So these are the zeros and poles, and this is the DC gain here. So we have transferred the transfer function into the ZPK plane, that is the zero, poles and gain. Now, if we are, as we have discussed, that if we are interested to design any system, then the system's order must not be greater than 2, or it must have the sections of the first order section and the second order section. First order section will be only when the system is system has the order of the odd. That is, the first section will be the first order section, and remaining section will be the second order section here. So how the second order section will be developed from the transfer function? Again, describe the inputs, that is the matrix B and the matrix A. Then apply here the operator. When we say this is command is nothing but that is a algorithm, rules, regulations. When you say to someone to do something, it means whatever you are saying, that is the rules, regulation, that is the process. And according to that instruction or those instructions, that person will perform here. Similarly, same is true in the case of the systems also. This is the command, and command is nothing but this is a process here. It will operate on the inputs, and what are the inputs here? Matrix B and the A. And what are the matrix B and A? They are the matrices of the transfer function in the numerator and denominator. Now, if we apply this one for the Fs, then we will get here the second order section of this one here. This is again related to the quality factor. I am just skipping because we all know the concept of the quality factor here. We are just coming to the point how we will analyze. These are the different types of the transfer function, same as in the case of the S domain. Pole zero pairing is again used for the same purposes. Now, suppose we are interested in order to design any system. When we say system, what is the system? System operates on the signal in order to extract the desired information. And what is the signal? Signal is nothing but it may be the physical quantity, energy that is changing its value or their values with respect to time, frequency, space, or any other variable, or a set of the variables. But that must convey some information. Only then we can say it is the signal. Signal has some energy, some quantity, etc. here, and the system will operate on the signal. So the signal is itself a set of the matrix. Any doubt? Any query? So if the system is operating on the signal, signal is a set of equations, means there is a set of matrices, and the system has rules, regulations. Again, that will be a set of equations. Means set of the matrices are operating under the matrices in order to get the set of the matrices at the output. So here the system will operate on the signal to extract the desired information so that it can be processed, monitored, stored for further purposes here. Now we are interested in order to design any system, and suppose that system is analog. When we say system is it will select some signal and it will reject some signal. You can say it will
Message.
Sorry for disturbance. Yes, I think disturbance has taken place due to the. Hello. Now I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I think we have covered this portion, na? No. So we were discussing about the transfer function of the pole zero plot, and we are trying to discuss the analog and digital filter designing, and at that time the technical glitches has taken place. So I'm sorry for inconvenience. Again we will connect here. So please continue. We are just going to continue it from the specification of the filter, as we have discussed that any system rejects some ranges of the frequency and passes some ranges of the frequency. System operates on the signal in order to get the desired information. That's why we can call it like the filter here. And now we are just going to describe what is the filter specification or the system specification. Now if we are interested in order to design any analog system, and suppose that analog or the continuous system has to be designed to process or the pass some ranges of the signal, and it is selected towards the lower side, then that will be named as the low pass filter or the system here. Now if we think about the filter, then ideally it must have a range that should be passed, and another frequencies out of that range must be blocked strictly. It is the ideal condition, but it is not practical, because that in practical transition is always required, and if there is a transition, it means there must be a gap between the passing edge and the stopping edge. But ideally we used to say that if this is the frequency after which there should be no response, and before this one there must be the 100% response. So in order to design any system, we have to use the practical approaches here. And when we apply the practical approaches, then this ideal condition will be converted into the specification, having a gap. That gap is known as the transition gap between the pass band is frequency, stop band is frequency. And if we consider here the pass band, whatever is our field, whether we are from the electrical, electronics, mechanical, whatever is our field of the interest or the field of the application, in that one we have to design a system that will respond for a particular range of the frequency, and that has to stop the another range of the frequencies here. So for that particular range of the frequency, or for that particular range of the another variable or the parameters, the response must be uniformly a DC value. As we know, in Fourier series representation, if we are interested in order to convert the square wave using the sinusoidal wave, then it is not possible to exactly represent the square wave using the Fourier series. There will be some approximation error, and that we have described using the MATLAB constant, and we know that phenomena is known as the Gibbs phenomena. Same is true in the case of the system designing also. Means when we consider this is the flat portion, that flat portion will become some ripples in the practical aspects during the time of the specifications, deciding the specification of the system. And we have to decide what must be the range of these ripples or the attenuations or the disturbances in that particular required range or the band of the interest of the parameter, frequency, time, etc. Same is true for the stop band, where we have to block each and every processing. So we have to follow the approximation here, and after applying the approximation, we will get the different set of the algorithms. The same concept can be developed by the different set of the equations, or we can say the same, having the same concept, we can design so many systems, but we have to select the optimum one. How the optimum optimized or the optimum systems will be selected, how the optimization will take place, naturally that will depend upon the realization, that is the architecture of the algorithm, system, etc. here. And then we have to also consider what is the permissible range of the deviation, and finally we will move for the implementation here. Now see here, this is the pass band and stop band for the ideal one. For the ideal, this must be the pass band and the stop band, but in the practical cases there must be some transition